Hi, everybody. This is Lee, and I'm talking about some recent advance made in California, which usually is first in the nation on many issues. This is an article, a press release by the Center for Biological Diversity, and it's California EPA becomes first U.S. agency to declare that Roundup causes cancer. And so the state of California announced today that as of July 7th, it will list glyphosate, the main ingredient in the pesticide Roundup, and the most common pesticide in the world, as a known human carcinogen under the state's Proposition 65. And of course, the manufacturer of Roundup is Monsanto. Monsanto has been fighting against this declaration, fighting the cancer research, fighting for its own profit, fighting for its own bottom line, fighting for its rights and ability to continue to poison people. And so there's also information in this press release that reveals that Monsanto had a mole on the EPA, and the mole was feeding Monsanto information about the intentions of the EPA, and that way Monsanto was able to launch public relations campaign and to attempt to smother and suppress public health information that might have allowed people to protect themselves from carcinogens. And so Monsanto is disputing this all down the line because they will lose money. Their main focus, their main priority is not human or public health. Their main focus is profit. And that's what happens when it comes to privatization of public goods and public agencies, that the result is a focus on profit rather than the public good of public health. And so people get caught in the crossfire and have their health ruined. And it seems like in California they're discovering that the main areas where Monsanto, well, not Monsanto, but the glyphosate is sprayed in California, the majority of those populations are Hispanic or Latino and impoverished, and that indicates that this use of the carcinogen glyphosate in California is targeted mostly by socioeconomic and racial lines. And so it's a form of environmental racism, and that this is something that was driven by a multinational corporation. We see what a multinational corporation is capable of, that they are actually capable of killing people and calling it profit, and then pretending like they're the victims and their profits are interfered with. And that we would see more episodes like this under trade and services agreement or a hyped up NAFTA renegotiation, where multinational corporations have the ability to stomp on populations with no restraint or regulation. Fortunately, we have some amount of oversight, research, and regulation, at least at the state level. At the federal level, not so much. At least California at the state level decided to make every attempt to protect its population. If you have Roundup on your shelves, don't use it. Don't use it. It's not, I would not recommend that you use it, knowing what you know, based on what you've seen. Use your best judgment. Make sure you get all the information, not Monsanto driven information, but actually from the regulating bodies. So I'll post this link in the description. You can read for yourself and take precautions. Good luck.